It ain't nothing like cleaning your room up when a girl finna come over. The times I cleaned my room the best was when a bitch finna come over. I might fuck around, mop the floor, make my fucking bed up and get all the crumbs off the floor. I might even fuck around, spray some Febreze in that bitch. My room will be dirty as hell. A bit'll be like, can I come over there in an hour or two? And I'll instantly get up and make my fucking room spotless in less than 30 minutes. I'll fuck around and turn into a cleaner at the hotels. I don't know, my cleaning skills get way better. You just can't have no dirty ass room when a bitch finna come over. Imagine a girl come to your motherfucking crib, she see motherfucking chips on the floor. Your room smell like ass. You been up all night on the game with the bros and shit, and your room just look like shit in general. But you already know if a girl come over your crib and your shit dirty, you definitely finna go in the group chat, gang. You gonna tell all her friends, girl, this nigga dirty as shit. And don't nobody wanna have a reputation of being a dirty nigga. You can have a reputation of being a hoe. You can have a reputation of being a hoe, not being shit, being a lame ass nigga. Don't nobody want the reputation of being a dirty ass nigga. That shit just ain't it. I just can't go for that shit. I don't know. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping or not. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But I know I ain't tripping.
All right, YouTube, it's your boy Charlie Boy. We're going to react to that video, and, I'm going to try to give my experience on, when women come over. What should you do? What should you not do? And just things that I've experienced and kind of going off of that video there. The funny thing is number one, you got to be in position where you got to have your own spot, right? If you're a man, it is hard nowadays. It's 2025. Things are expensive. Rent is crazy. Groceries, everything. It's hard to have your own spot nowadays. But once you get the benefit of having your own spot, you need to keep it clean, fellas. Especially if you are in the dating game, you're single, you better keep your house clean. Now, I live by myself. Obviously you guys should know by now, I'm a single dad. I have a 7-year-old daughter. And, when I do have her, she has her own room with me. But for the most part, I'm by myself. And the best thing I could tell you guys is, when a girl's about to come over, let's rewind a little bit. Number one, you should have your house clean, I say about 80% of the time, right? What do I mean by that? I'm in the gym a lot. I cook a lot of food. I meal prep. So I'm frequently in my kitchen, constantly. Morning time, and then when I come home, I might cook my dinner or whatever. But I'm in, the kitchen a lot. So I'm constantly cleaning my kitchen, constantly washing dishes. And for the most part, sometimes I sleep on the couch. Sometimes I sleep in my bed, and, obviously I got, 3 beds, 2 baths, where I'm at. And, I got 2 bathrooms. And I will say that you need to have your house clean about 80% of the time, roughly. You never know who's going to come over. Your parents might come over, a friend, whoever, And usually when people come over, the first thing they say is, can I use the restroom? And one thing my mom taught me is always, always, always just touch up the restroom, right? Buy some wipes, wipe it down, and just kind of keep that, about 90% clean, right? Always keep your restroom clean. But when you're a single man and you're in this dating game, right, you need to make sure that your house is pretty much clean all the time, right? Because girls are always going to want to see you. Facts. Facts. They're always going to want to see you. I cook food a lot. I invite them over for dinner. Hey, I made this. You want to come try it? Yeah. I'll pull up, right? Now, obviously, I'm not, there's days where I'm lazy, right? House might get a little messy, right? So when girls ask to come over, right? And, just like how in that video, you clean your house the best because first impression is everything, right? But if you kind of keep your house clean during the week, if they do want to come over, the the stress behind trying to really make it clean because it's messy and you weren't expecting a girl to come over, it's less, right? So I like to pick days during the week to clean my house, right? Usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and maybe Friday or Saturday, depending on what I got planned, right? And, usually, when a chick comes over, right, the smell test, right? When she walks through that door, she needs to smell a good scent, right? Like a Febreze smell, a real like freshy smell, right? Unless you're cooking food, she could smell the food or whatever you plan on having dinner or whatever, but your house needs to smell clean, right? And one thing you need to understand is you need to open your windows, right? Get some fresh air going, right? There's nothing like fresh air flowing through the house, right? Because when there's fresh air and you got good circulation, there's no like bad odors, right? It kind of flushes it out, right? So always remember that, right? Have windows open, have the door open if you have a screen door, get some air going in there, right? Because you'd be surprised, us men, we carry an odor, right? We carry, like you don't want a musty smell, right? You want a fresh smell going through the house, right? And, I will say is make sure your trash, right, is empty. Kitchen trash, right? Because sometimes you might have old food in there that they might smell, right? Your bathrooms, make sure there's no trash in there if you can help it, right? Minimum trash, right? Always minimum. But usually when girls come in, right, my first rule is you got to take your shoes off. I don't want foot marks everywhere. I got laminate flooring and, I don't want to see footprints, right? The dust of it, right? Take your shoes off. Okay, they usually listen, okay. And then, I usually take them to where the living room is, right? And then they sit down and you could tell they're observing, right? Looking around, right? Usually I like to have a candle already going, right? So if a girl says she's going to be over by, let's just say 7 p.m. When 6 p.m. hits, light a candle. Light a candle, empty the trash out, and have some windows open or the door open. And I promise you, by the time she comes over, your whole house is going to smell like that candle, but it's not going to be overwhelming to where like, dang, like it's stuffy in here, right? It's going to be a nice breeze of it, right? And then 9 times out of 10 when women come over, like how he said in the video, I like to give a tour of my house. Like, let me show you around, it's the living room, right? The kitchen table, right? It's the kitchen, right? Everywhere I know where she's going to look, roughly, I clean it, right? She's going to look at the kitchen. Oh, this is nice, and she's going to peep game real quick, right? Look at the kitchen, right? This is the bathroom, this is my room. But usually right before that, they always, can I use the restroom? I got to go pee really quick, right? Oh, yeah, restroom's right here. And, I will say for the restrooms, have a nice scent in there, right? Either a Febreze plug-in, some type of plug-in smell, or you can have a candle going in there, I like to use the plug-ins. I get them from Walmart. They'll last about a good 2 weeks, especially if you set it on low, right? To where it's not burning like a lot of it all day. And then obviously have your sink clean, your toilet clean, and you better best believe they gonna look in that shower. And all that, needs to be clean. It don't gotta be just freaking spotless clean, but you do need to make sure it's about 90% clean, right? They're gonna look in the shower because they're gonna look in that shower to see if like, dang, like if I was to potentially spend the night here and bring clothes and shower here, at least I know I could be comfortable, right? That's why they go in that bathroom. It's for like the future. If I sleep here and I give this guy a chance and I need a shower here, how's his bathroom? And, you know, obviously decorate it, you know, to the best of your abilities, right? But you need to make sure it's just clean and it smells good. Those are the two. Clean, smell good. If you have no declarations in there or whatever, as long as it's clean and it smells good, she will be back again. I promise you that, fellas. And then let's get to your room, right? When she sees your room, you need to also have some type of smell good. The window needs to be open, right? Because sometimes you don't realize it, but your bed, right? You sleeping in your bed all the time has a smell, right? Like it soaks your odor in, right? So I will say, you know, obviously spray your bed down with that Febreze, damn, I forgot what it's called, but it's a fabric freshener, right? Spray that on your bed every morning, right? And let that kind of soak in your bed, right? Especially if she's coming over, you better spray that, you know, so that way by the time she comes over, if she spends the night, she's gonna be laying in that scent. Like, dang, it smells good in here, right? With your guys' dresser, just have it organized, right? Don't have it, you know, like just messy and just unorganized. Obviously, we know, fellas, I freaking hate dusting, right? So in your room, right, your dressers and stuff, you know, I usually like to do that like on a Saturday or something. Really take everything off, dust it down, right? But if shorty's coming over, just make sure there's no trash and just organize it, right? They're not going to go over there and rub their finger like, oh, it's dusty in here, you're dirty. Like, come on now. They're not going to do that. I've never witnessed that. I've never witnessed that. But what you can do is just organize it. Make sure your bed is made. Make sure you have a nice comforter set, right? That's key. You got a nice comforter set. I don't care if you got a queen, king, or Cali king. You know, just make sure your bed is set up nice, right? Because she's going to be visioning, if I sleep in this bed with him or damn near get tore up by him, I want to feel comfortable at the same time. So just make sure that's on point, right? And then obviously, you know, make sure your floor is not dirty, right? You know, you don't want it to be like there's just footprints, muddy footprints, or just, you know, it don't got to be freshly mopped, but try to get a quick little sweep, you know, or if you got hardwood floors, vacuum it real quick, right? Nothing crazy, right? You don't got to get all crazy, fellas. The main thing is the scent and just making sure it's clean / organized, right? You don't got to do a deep clean now. You don't got to, you know, freaking steam clean everything, but just make sure it's clean and it smells good, right? Because I promise you this, fellas, once I've adapted to this, I never really been dirty, but once I've, you know, started living on my own and I started seeing videos, right, of people breaking this down, right? And once you apply it, girls always come back, fellas. I promise you that. I promise you that. They will be back. And not only will they be back, you gonna get them draws too. It's just so crazy how game is game, fellas. Take notes, because this is very important. Clean and making sure it smells good. You do those two, I promise you, she's gonna come back and you're gonna get them draws. Every 9 times out of 10, every chick that's came to my house, they use the bathroom. They oh man, it's nice in here. It smells good in here. I know. And it's like, you don't need to overdo it, right? And sometimes you don't want it like too clean to where it looks like you're, you know, you got OCD and you just have to be clean all the time. You don't want to be a weirdo, right? Like you're just too clean. But just make sure it gives her the impression that, you know, he cleans up after himself. He didn't overdo it. It's like sometimes, you know, I'll leave a shoe out, like a pair of shoes, or I'll leave some pants out, right? And you can hit her with this line like, my bad, excuse the mess, like go ahead and sit right there, excuse the mess, right? Or I'll leave some socks out, right? Just to show her like, you know, like, I didn't just clean up. Like, hey, you in my crib, hey, you know, move those socks over, right? You don't want to overly clean and overly show her, like, I'm a clean freak, like, just for you. Like, no. Like, yeah, I forgot, oh, my bad, I forgot to pick those socks up. Like, just throw those over there. Who gives a fuck, right? You're going to get the drawers anyways, right? If you make it that far, right? But some of you fellas, you think, I'm going to use my coworker again. He got his own crib, right? And, you know, he likes to smoke. And when I was telling him about this, right, you need to, have your house clean, have some candles going. It needs to smell good, right? Oh, man, my house just smells like weed and blah, 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 right? I said, weed, huh? Now, unless you're dealing with some crackhead, bird brain type of girl who just smoke weed all day and that's what they like, cool. Maybe they might stay. But if you're dealing with some quality women, you know, they're not going to sit in a house that smells like weed. I could promise you that. Unless you have unless you smoke outside, right? And she knows you smoke, right? And, you know, that's different. If you're going to be a weed head, don't let your house smell like weed. It just shows your maturity of how you live, right? To me, it's immature, right? You can do better than that. Even when I go to some of my buddies' house, or even if I get in there inside their car and it smells like weed, it's just like, come on, dude. Like, weed is legal. Smoke that shit outside. You don't need to hotbox your car, like, damn near your house. And I told my coworker, I said, dog, if you're dealing with a quality girl and she come to your house and it smells like weed, she's going to walk right the fuck out. Gone. She's gone. Now, if she's a weed head, cool, maybe it might work. But I promise you that she can be like, what the fuck? Like, open up a window. Like, why is it? It's going to annoy her. And when you annoy them, you don't get the draws. The key is get the draws. They come over, have it clean, about 85%, 90% clean. You can leave some stuff out, right? And then have a smell good. Like, dang, it smell like fresh cotton in here, you know. That's one of the candles I buy from Walmart. It's like a cotton smell, but it smells fresh. I like freshy smells, not like a perfume, like a fruity type of smell, but just a fresh Febreze, you know, just smell going on, right? And then what I like to do is, I kind of do this daily, right before I go to bed in a way. But, you know, because I like to sleep with windows open. I'll spray the house, like I'll get some Lysol, just kind of spray it in the air and walk through the house, right? Just to keep the house smelling fresh, right? Because believe me, fellas, when you take care of your house, it gives you that energy back. Like, what I mean by is, when you treat your house right, nothing will break on you. Nothing won't really, like, you won't get bad luck, if that makes sense. I take care of my house. I make sure it smells good. I clean it. And I feel like it returns the favor by, you know, no roof leaks, no issues, right? No issues. But when you start kind of treating your house like shit, it's going to treat you like shit. It's going to start breaking your pockets. So just remember that, fellas. That's the video for today. You keep your house clean and keep it smelling good, I promise you, you're going to get them draws. It's your boy Charlie Boy, and we out. See you on the next one.